Right guys, welcome back to our E3 coverage. We're here in the heart of the EA booth with all its lights and noise, and today I'm joined by Ian Milham from Visceral Games. How are you, Ian?
I'm doing pretty good. My voice is going a little bit because I've been talking about this game so much, but I'm pretty excited.
And the game is Battlefield Hardline, which takes that core, already brilliant multiplayer Battlefield experience and adds this cool cops versus robbers twist.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we're doing here is, you don't just put Battlefield on a box and just sort of go with that. There's a lot of expectations that come with it because, you know, some people might think like, oh, well, you guys probably had some bank robbery game and then you put Battlefield on it because you think it's going to sell a bunch more, and you can't do that because Battlefield comes with some very high expectations. You got to deliver on some big stuff. You got to deliver on giant maps with all kinds of verticality and variety. You got to deliver on vehicles. You got to deliver on team tactics. You got to deliver on all the gadgets and the weapons and all that stuff. So we are definitely delivering on the Battlefield experience, but Battlefield already exists, so we want to do something fresh with it and sort of gives people a whole new experience. So we've taken that great Battlefield gameplay, added a bunch of new improvements, and then on top of it, wrapped it up in a cool cops and criminals fiction. And
can you give us like a brief overview of how like a typical match would work out? Because we were just playing it there, and we had the cops, they were grabbing money, then the robbers were stealing it, the cops were grabbing it back off them, so it's very much kind of, it's got this cool kind of ebb and flow to how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. What we're doing today is we're showing a heist and blood money, two of our many modes. We're going to have a lot more coming, but these are the ones we're showing right now. And you exactly hit on it. Part of what we're trying to do with blood money is give something a really fluid, back and forth kind of feeling. The setup there is that there's a central pile of money that can happen in different maps, different ways. Sometimes it's like a crashed armored car or something like that. And the cops are all trying to recover it, and the criminals are all trying to grab it for themselves. But what's cool about this mode is that there is no safe place to take it to. You can take it back to your vault, but you need to defend it there because it could be taken from there. So you end up with this sort of ebb and flow and back and forth where one team can be way up and almost win, and the other team can sort of snatch victory from them, and it really is cool. And then Heist gives us a great fantasy fulfillment bank robbery mode where the cops are trying to defend the vault and the criminals are trying to break in and take the money.
So it felt like all through the game that I was playing, I was just experiencing new ways to be killed. Whilst I was trying to grab money, I'd be killed by a cop car flanking me. Yeah. I'd be arrested. Or someone would be in a tower and would just be covering the vault. Or there'd be guys just defending one vault, and just kind of the way that the maps allowed for tactics just really kind of gave it that cool Battlefield feel.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with Battlefield, right? The feature set is so robust. Yeah. There's so many ways to participate and succeed, and it's not always just shooting guys. Yeah. You can really help your team out in a lot of different ways. And that's amazing and really provides a depth where people can play for hundreds of hours. That's part of the reason we're doing this open beta, because we want everybody to play it right now. Because we're gamers too, and we've all sort of maybe seen a sexy trailer for something, and then it kind of didn't turn out exactly the way. And that doesn't tell you if the real fundamental quality is there, that it stands up to hour after hour after hour, and balance after balance, where it's still fun, and you're still discovering new things hundreds of hours in.
Yeah. And I also noticed a bit of that trademark Battlefield destruction in there as well.
Well, sure. I mean, destruction is part and parcel to the Battlefield gig, but you can't just make stuff fall down. That's all fine, and pretty destruction is great, but there's some key rules that we try to follow. Number one, it should be player activated. The player should do something. It's not just like a random thing that always happens. So that's good. And number two, it's not just pretty, it changes the gameplay. It is tactically important. And whether that's small or whether that's huge, so in our high tension downtown map, what you get that whole crane that could be toppled by one team. Well, that creates all kinds of new pathways and damage. It closes off some things. It creates new bridges between important locations. It changes the play. And all the other sort of stuff happens where the smaller destruction can also change the play. And you also end up in situations where it's like you could shoot out through windows or through solid walls and end up with some really cool destruction-based gameplay.
And just finally then, could you give us a little overview of some of the vehicle types we've got in now? It was like two people on a bike and in a police car.
Well, it wouldn't be Battlefield without vehicles. Yeah. And those vehicles have to provide, again, just like the infantry gameplay, a lot of different experiences. So we've got the helicopters, we've got heavier things, kind of like this Bearcat, right, where it's heavier armed and gives you a little bit more of a tank experience, although it's still faster. But one of the big places that we really, I think, have changed things is how fast these vehicles are, and the kind of chases that you can get into. And people might say, huh, well, all right, but where's my heavy armor? And that's fine, but if you get 4 guys in a car and 3 of them all sit out on the windowsills with some heavy machine guns and stuff, that is a force to be reckoned with. Yeah.
Certainly is. Well, the game's looking amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Ian. It was great meeting you.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out Battlefield Hardline. You can play the beta. And also, if you want to see more videos from E3, check out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to have loads more going up all week.